Hey, Cancer, intuitive soul coach here with your December 2023 career reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Cancer. It looks like you are readjusting your crown this month. So you do have the crown card, and I feel like you've been working on finding solutions to any money matters that have been mind-boggling, that have been confusing, or have been a little bit foggy. Because in the recent past here, you have the cutlery card, and this is about needing more money so you can live a life where you don't have to worry about the struggles. You don't have to worry about making sure the bills are paid, or where you live, or putting food on the table, or gas in the car. This is about you living a life that is comfortable for yourself, for your family. And I feel like you have the skills, you have the abilities, you have the business tools here. Whenever this cutlery card shows up, you can see that it's missing the spoon. And as I always say with this card, it's hard to eat a soup with a fork. And so I feel like you are discovering what works for you. You're discovering how to work with what you have and go in search of maybe what you need, whether that's education, whether that is a higher paying job, whether it's focusing on a hobby or a side business, something that you love that you can work for yourself on. So you're definitely coming up with new ideas, but sometimes the challenge can be taking those ideas from, the ether into reality. So a lot of you are making some big changes in your life, but there's been some power struggles, possibly between you and a supervisor, you and a boss, maybe you and another coworker, because the crown card is overcoming obstacles that have to do with money, with power, with authority as well. I'm getting Emperor energy here for you. So some of you could be dealing with an Aries or dealing with a boss, or you are being called at this time to make some big decisions when it comes to your finances or your career. Now you do have the owner and boss card showing up here. So some of you could be business owners, and maybe this is the month where you really take charge of the next steps. Going into 2024, I feel like you are prepared in a way to make some big changes. So you could be writing things down. This could be goals. Maybe you're working with a professional, a financial advisor. You could be looking at, they're showing me quarterly reports. So maybe some of you are looking at some reports and doing some comparing, maybe through graphs. I'm seeing here graphs, reports, maybe accounting, numbers. Maybe that's what you do for a living, or perhaps that's what you were looking into to help you understand. I also see here that some of you may be working on creative aspects of your career. Maybe it's a logo, a business logo. Maybe it has to do with your website, or it could be social media presence, something of that nature. Now you're making progress here in the month of December, and I feel like you're setting the groundwork for 2024 to either become your own boss, to take a leadership position, to ascend your energy, or to uplift your energy so you can attract and fully manifest what it is that you've been working so hard on here, Cancer. Because in the near future, you have the Rose card. And they're really highlighting the droplets here on the rose. So some of you, you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into a situation, into your education, into your career. And the rose card is about financial relief. And I am getting 2024, or more so in January, February, and March, that you're going to finally feel like you are growing in an aspect here, or in a sense, whether it's growing individually in your career, your finances, whatever it is that you're working on growing here, you're supported, and the universe is going to, bring in synchronicities, such as the right people at the right time. They're going to start to bring in. And the reason why is because you are putting out this energy. You are attracting it. And you'll see how these things start to flow because you've made some big choices here in your world. I also get a sense of job security here. That may have been a struggle for you. Perhaps some of you are contemplating, do I leave this situation or do I shift out? Because maybe you had benefits, or maybe there was a little bit of flexibility. Maybe you were able to work from home. So there could be something that you're questioning. Will I have the same level of maybe security as I had before? And I feel like you, again, are finding what works for you. Even if you don't quite have the spoon at this time, you're going in search of things that are better aligned, and you'll see how those puzzle pieces start to fit together here, Cancer. Now, you received a bonus card, and this is so interesting. I think it may have only been one other sign. Possibly Gemini also received a bonus card, and I believe it was the feather as well. So this is about abundance. It's about working smarter, not harder, because divine intervention is at play here. And you've put in the blood, sweat, and tears. So now you want a little bit of that hard work to pay off for you here. I also sense that in 2024, some of you could be buying a home, you could be moving, there could be travel or relocated. I'm just getting that Chariot energy, and then they're showing me a home. So definitely some changes in 2024 around the home life. Now, this could also be light work where you're doing things that are bringing in money. I'm getting residual income. It could be Airbnb, real estate, writing a book, anything of that nature where you do it once and then you make residual income off it. It doesn't mean that you're never going to work at it again, but I do feel like you've put a lot of energy into something and now you can see it paying off. It's kind of like when you build a home. It takes a lot of time to get everything into place, and it takes a lot of effort and time and money and energy. But then when it's done, you're able to reap the rewards of being able to live in that home. I also see here that some of you could be drivers in a sense. Maybe you drive to work and it could be a longer commute, or maybe you're contemplating moving because of a longer commute. Maybe you work in Uber or a semi-truck driver, something of that nature as well. Maybe even pilot, airlines, flight, things like that. But the feather is about, taking off, taking something to the next level. If it's been stuck, maybe some of you, this has been stuck on the ground, or it's been stuck again in the ether. So it could be bringing it down into reality, grounding it into reality, manifesting and making it happen by taking some moves. And then for others of you, there could be something that you've been putting the time and energy into, but maybe it hasn't got quite off the ground. I feel like that's what you don't see coming, because that's the bonus card here. Now let's take a look and see what's coming in for you. We have unexpected expenses. I feel like this is something you've already been aware of and you're trying to recoup, or you're trying to pay off. Maybe it's an unexpected doctor bill. It could be a vet bill for some of you. You can see the stethoscope there. I also sense that it has to do with maybe insurance. I am getting maybe something around a vehicle, because they're showing me maybe like oil change. It doesn't have to be extremely large, but it can be something that you weren't quite expecting. I am getting, for some of you, this is a vet bill. Okay. But you also have the unexpected. This is so interesting. You have the unexpected income to pay it off. So it's like it comes in, but then you're able to pay it, or it comes in here, but something else, maybe there's an increase in a client payment, someone may owe you money, or it's almost like there's a wash here is what I see. So if this has to do, oh, look at this, there's the graphs. There's that increase. We were seeing that earlier here. So there is something here with like a leveling up, growing, taking a look at statistics, or taking a look at your growth. So unexpected income, you will be able to cover this expense. If this is something that hasn't happened yet for you, Cancer, if it is something that does show up in the month of December, you will be able to cover that expense. Some of you have an interview coming up, or you could be interviewing another person. I just got interviewing housekeeper. So perhaps some of you are hiring a housekeeper. Maybe you work in the cleaning or the residential, or maybe you're just going in for a job interview here. And maybe that's part of, you know, an unexpected income. Maybe it's something you do on the side. I just seen like a handshake under the table. So, I mean, maybe this has to do with getting paid in a certain way, or it could be something that is temporary. Well, let's take a look and see what else is showing up for you here. A handshake under the table. But I don't feel like it's shady. I don't feel like it's you know, a negative, or there will be bad karma. I don't feel like that, but I feel negotiation. Okay, for some of you, there's going to be a lot of thinking in the month of December, maybe some overtime. For some of you, you may decide to work. I also see some of you being called in over maybe the holidays, or maybe you've had some time off, or you wanted to maybe not work a certain day or a week, but they may call you in. Or if you are a business owner, you may see that you are working a little more than you thought, but that could be part of why there's unexpected income coming in here for you, because you don't want to miss out on that money. But there's some good ideas that you have at this time, and you may feel like if you don't take those plans into action now, or take those ideas, that you're not going to do it down the road. All right, let's take a look here. You have loan approved and payday. Whoa, hello, Cancer. There's something that you are receiving. And I feel that this may have to do with that interview as well. Some of you, you're interviewing for, it could be a position, it could be a loan, it could be, you know, anything that you're signing, some documents, paperwork. This may have to do with legalities, judgment. Some of you may have even gone through a situation where there was some unexpected expenses from taking care of someone medically. I also see here like nursing home, or they're showing me a bottle of medicine, like a bottle of pills possibly. So there could be some sort of expense regarding medication, but you've interviewed, or you've put money towards, or you've asked for help, and you do have financial relief coming in here as well. So for those of you that have applied maybe for a VA, something with a veteran or VA, or applied for some sort of relief, it's going to get approved. And even if it's not right away this month, you have that divine intervention coming in. You're going to get back pay or payday. Again, it kind of goes back to this unexpected income, and then the unexpected expense. There's going to be a wash. Something is going to be paid out or paid off here. Let's dive into your reading here, Cancer. What is the overall energy for the month of December? You have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords here can be a little bit of back and forth, contemplating. You're not quite sure. It looks like you're walking in the dark there with the blindfold. And if you've ever tried to, you know, if you've ever woke up in the middle of the night in a home that maybe you're not used to, or an Airbnb, and it's dark, there's no lights, and you're trying to feel for things and make sure you don't stub your toe or trip, or, you know, walk into the wrong room. It's difficult to do when you can't see. And that's what I feel is happening here, where you have some choices and decisions to make up, but it's like the blind leading the blind. And that's interesting. That came up in another reading as well. But you have some decisions to make. Try not to overthink. And I know that can be easier said than done, of course, but it looks like something is going to pan out here for you. So if you're worried about how you're going to pay for something, or you're worried about how that interview is going to go, or if you're going to get that payday that you've been hoping for or expecting, I do feel like it's coming in here for you. So try not to overthink. Adjust that crown, right? King or queen, does not matter, but adjust that crown, because I'm getting that you're going to finally feel like things are moving, at least on an energetic level, and you'll see that the physical aspect shows up sooner rather than later here. Let's take a look at the challenge. Okay, we're just going to take what's showing up here. Okay, thank you, Spirit. All right, how would you like? Yeah, you're ready to put down the burdens. I see that here for you. We're just going to pull the rest of the cards here for the Celtic Cross. A little bit of messy energy is kind of what I'm getting. A little bit of confusion, fogginess around the next steps, or around, you feel like something, you're not quite sure how an interview turned out, but I feel like it turned out better than expected, or you left some sort of an impression. For those of you that have felt a little bit bored, uninspired, and as I said, bored and uninspired, you have the Four of Cups showing up in your fears. I feel like you are going to make a big shift mentally that allows you to see things clearer. Yeah, you take a shift, because patience is at play here, but your patience is going to pay off in a big, big way. So the challenge for you is the Hermit. Maybe feeling a little bit left out in the cold. Some of you may be entrepreneurs, or you work for yourself, and that can be something that at times is difficult. Many years ago, or not many, but a few years back when I worked in the corporate world, you're constantly interacting with people, and you're seeing new people daily. Possibly you're working with people. There's communication and interaction from the outside world. But then when you become an entrepreneur or a business owner, you tend to kind of isolate at times, whether you work from home or whether you are, building yourself up in whatever way, shape, or form. So that could be for some of you. You just feel a little bit isolated with growing and building your own thing. For others of you, if you are in a position where you work from home, or maybe you do work in a setting that just feels like you're a little bit left out. Maybe your ideas are being rejected, or maybe you're so busy that it feels like the days and the nights are flying by. And this is something that got brought up the other day as well, where a lot of us are quantum leaping. The time is just so crazy right now, where sometimes you'll think that it's 9 o'clock at night, but really it's 5, or it may be 7 in the morning, but feels like 3 a.m. So the timing here is really feeling a little bit all over the place, especially since eclipse season back in October. But you're doing a lot of soul searching, and maybe even feeling a little bit isolated, or you are wanting to make some moves, connect with other people, soul tribe, put yourself out there, bring in more clients, maybe connect with a business organization or other people who see you, who fully see you, respect you, honor you, and value you. I'm getting the words value very, very strong, or the letters in the word value. So some of you, this does have to do with your own values and morals. So what's below you here, Cancer? You have the Empress. The Empress is a lot of abundance. It's about nurturing here, something that you love. So I feel like in the distant past, or in the foundation, you are the epitome here of abundance. There isn't anything that you can't achieve. And a lot of you have achieved great success already in this lifetime. But I feel like there's a call here. There's something that you're wanting to really nurture, really grow, but maybe you've had to put it on the back burner. Maybe you've had to neglect it for whatever reason. Could be due to finances, due to medical, due to health. But I feel like this is coming back into creation here, because you have nurturing creator. And this is about you creating and nurturing the things that you want to see grow, right? Because the abundance is all about growth. The Empress is all about growth. And I'm getting here, you're very creative. You're a creative individual as well. Even if you don't consider yourself creative, we are constantly creating our reality. And so when the Empress shows up in the upright, I feel like you have everything you need to be, fertile, to grow what it is that you want to see, hit that level of abundance. This is about you being the goddess that you are, or the god that you are, right? This is you nurturing something to its max. And that's why you have the crown. Some of you, this does have to do with global interactions as well. And I thought I seen the World card show up here for you. Okay, we don't have the World, but I'm getting World energy, where There could have been a cycle that you've completed in the past, or it's something that you had to work on before you could hit this level. So maybe you've had to go back to school, or maybe there was a level of learning, or you were in that certain job, or maybe you stayed home to raise the kids, or whatever it may be. But I feel like there is a shift in the world, a shift in the globe. And what's happening is your skill set, your gifts, your background, your education, your experience, your knowledge is required at this time all around the world. So there's something here that you could do and you could take it anywhere. In the recent past, you do have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So look at that. There's the blindfold that we see showing up in your main energy. So you are overcoming some sort of self-doubt, and you're making decisions this month, and you're taking the blindfold off this month is what I see. So you can move into 2024 with a clear knowing of, this is what I need to do. This is a new direction. This is the opportunity that is presented. Even if something is rejected to me with a hermit, I'm understanding and realizing that rejection is redirection. So a lot of you, there was a level of self-doubt that you weren't quite sure if you were able to go in this direction, if you could, blossom from a situation here. But because this Eight of Swords is in your recent past, a lot of you Cancers are getting out of your own way. And sometimes that's the biggest thing that trips us up. We trip over, right? We can't see and we trip but we realize, so again, going back to that scenario of being in a place that maybe you're not used to, and you're trying to go to the restroom in the middle of the night, but maybe earlier in that day, you recall putting there being a nightstand or a table, or putting shoes on the floor. So in a way, you do know kind of where you're going, but I feel like you have a little bit of that inner light that's shining, that's leading you towards the direction you need to go. You have a basic idea of where that spot is that you need to go, but enjoying and going slow, not rushing, right? You don't want to just jump out of bed and rush to an area that you're not used to with all the lights off, right? You'd probably run straight smack into a wall and boom, topple back down. And maybe some of you felt like you did that. All right, what's above you here? There's new opportunities, but because we have the Star in reverse, you're still healing through something that maybe it took a little bit of a hit to your confidence, right? It could have been that rejection, that denial. It could have been some sort of criticism that maybe you took way personally. For others of you, there could have been, someone telling you, yeah, Cancer, we'll give you that raise, or we'd love to bring you on board here, but it didn't happen, or the timing was all awkward or all wonky is what I get here. But the Star says there is bright opportunities available. So try to know that the stars are aligning here. You have the Feather. The stars are aligning to really inspire and bring about more guidance, more healing, more hope, more peace. So don't give up on those dreams is the message here for you, because you have big dreams. The Star and the Empress, they are parallel to each other here. So you have what's below, as above, so below. So don't give up on those dreams. There's something that you want to nurture. And I feel like it's time for you to bring this out of hiding. And I feel like this has to do with your own self, your own creativity. Some of you are creative artists. You may create things, design things, sell them. There could be an Etsy shop, a YouTube channel. Maybe you're opening up your own online business, coaching, mentoring, whatever this may be for you. Even if you work in the corporate world currently, you can still take active steps towards your dreams, because you have the Six of Coins showing up in the near future. Beautiful energy. And look at that. There's the moon. There's the uncertainty there. And you see the sunflower. And this is really beautiful because the moon and the sun coming in, like I said, you have this divine help that is guiding you through even some of your darkest days. And this is about generous giving. This can be the card here of unexpected resources, and that's what you have here showing up, some sort of unexpected income. It could be a financial aid. Some of you, there's a back payment coming in. Some of you may have overpaid for something and you get a check or a refund. I am getting also with the Six of Pentacles, this can be some sort of grant, scholarship, loan, taxes, financial assistance, anything of that nature. But if you also were in a situation where it felt like you were putting in all the work and just not getting anything in return. Now, I'm not talking about if this is the beginning of a business or something that, yes, you have to put in that work, such as the building of a home that we talked about. There's going to, you know that there's going to be something that balances out. And I feel for you in the near future, you finally see that balance taking place. Okay, because there is generous giving versus unbalanced taking. How are you feeling? You're ready to put down the burdens. You're ready to take responsibility for what you need to take responsibility for. And some of you, the Ten of Wands, it is showing up in reverse. So there may have been a level of not knowing how, when, or where to put down some of those burdens that you've carried, okay? Because they were quite heavy here. And sometimes the Ten of Wands can be a Mr. or Mrs. Fix-It. They may have a difficult time saying no. They can be physically exhausted, and it's important to have others come in to help you lighten the load. And maybe that's why the cleaner was showing up earlier, or that cleaning mentality. It could be clean sweep. It could be clean it up. You're not responsible for other people's crud. And if you work in a profession where it's difficult to find that boundary or it's difficult to let go of something, some of you may be working on creating healthier boundaries. Okay, when the Ten of Wands shows up, I feel like there were also a lot of deadlines. There could have been exams, tests. I'm just getting here reports. I'm getting that word again, reports, or something that you've had to report to. Maybe you've had a project that you've had to report the progress, but it didn't feel like you've made a lot of progress. Therefore, it kept piling up. For others of you, this does have to do with paperwork, contracts, dealing with a situation that just kept kind of piling up on you. I also get here something with, disability. Something with disability, or putting in paperwork for something that like work compensation, or maybe it was unemployment, something of that nature here as well. Ten of Wands. Pay attention to your back this month. This would be a great month to get, energy work done, massage work, chiropractor. Watch out for heavy lifting as well. But lifting in general, mentally, physically, emotionally, know when to say no and say yes when it's a full yes. That's a big message for you this month. Pay attention to your ankles and your shoes as well. Maybe getting a good foot rub. I mean, you can see on the Ten of Wands here that he's walking a tightrope. I mean, that takes some talent right there. So there's something that you are being guided to have patience on. And that actually is part of the final outcome, is having that patience. But look at that. Because you've been doing this for quite some time, even though you may not feel like you are a patient person at times, Cancer, or you're feeling a little bit impatient around this situation, you're actually further along than you think, is what I see. And you're going to be putting down these burdens because the tens represent endings that bring in new beginnings. And December is the end of 2023, and you're ready to shift this cycle, shift this energy. Now, in the environment, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. There could be some sort of unexpected setback, whether it's some sort of delay. Maybe someone doesn't get back to you in the time that they say. This could be you feel like you're not making progress here in the way that you thought. That's why you may be looking at numbers. I also get, I'm getting call, like I'm on call, I'm call waiting, or I'm on hold. It's like you are being put in a position where you feel a little bit stuck at times, where you're waiting for them to kind of respond back to you. For others of you, it could be something that, again, a deadline, but you're not quite at the deadline yet, but there's a little bit of a hustle to get there. I feel like you will see the noticeable growth, but that may come towards the end of the month, even into the new year, okay? Because the Three of Wands is typically a good card about moving forward, right? It's about you being able to see that your ships are coming in, that you are making progress, but you see that there is, that ship still has to sail, and you, no matter what you do, you can't make that ship come in any quicker. You can see it. It's right there on the horizon, but it's not like you can speed it up, right? It's not like you can make that water, clear, or a path clear to it. I feel like divine timing is at play, but you have here growth. I see that available to you. There is a new opportunity coming in here for you, Cancer. Now, the hopes and fears, you do have the Four of Cups. You don't want to waste your time and your energy wondering how long something is going to take, or what should I be doing in the time, or spending, breaking your back at times to move in this direction if it's not going to pay off. I see that being a fear for you, but don't compare. Try not to compare, even though we do have a little bit of that comparative energy when it comes to maybe finances, using graphs, using things like that. If you're going to do it constructively. Okay, if you're going to compare, compare last year's finances to maybe this year, or some of you may even be upping some sort of price, or you're looking at increases, decreases, use it to your advantage. But if it's comparing success of other people, or success of, you 10 years ago, try not to get in that energy, because it can be a waste of time. It can be a waste of time comparing, and it puts you in that never-ending cycle of the Eight of Swords, where we keep playing a mental story and it keeps us stuck. If you're going to compare, do it constructively is the message here. The final outcome you have is the Temperance. This is about patient balance, and it does show up in the upright here. And look at that. She's also on a tightrope. So for some of you, because this is the energy that you have here, I feel like it's important for you to find and keep your balance. But look at, you go from being on that tightrope to carrying all those, bricks, those boulders, basically, to freeing yourself up from something, and you're still on the tightrope, but it doesn't feel as heavy. It's because you see your ships coming in. It's because there's some opportunity here that you're like, wow, that went really good, or I feel good about this. Don't lose hope. You have the Star here. The stars are aligning to make something happen for you, Cancer. And I'm getting, now this is interesting. I don't know if this is a name of someone, a place, a pet, Sheba. SH, could be IBA or EBA, Sheba. I'm hearing it. Please take that as it resonates. Maybe even Sheila, okay, Sheba or Sheila. So Cancer, we have here you releasing something, and that's going to allow you to feel more balance. And she actually has the wings there behind her. It's very, you can't quite, unless you really look at that, Temperance. But the Temperance is all about moderation, about compromise, about self-control. And that's something that you've really learned over time, is self-control. Control over what you can control and releasing what you cannot. So I'm proud of you, because that's not an easy thing to do. So you are stepping into your power as well with that Temperance. All right, beautiful. Let's get a message here from the wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have here? And I just heard here like 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. So I know I put out these readings a little bit early to prepare you for the month ahead. So there could be a big shift within that time frame. All right, yeah, because there's still some unfinished symphony showing up here that's going to, wow, look at that. Yeah, you have unfinished symphony with the chaos and conflict. So I feel like you're still kind of going through that Two of Swords. There's still a shift happening here. Some of you could be deciding to maybe even retire, maybe even nurture yourself, take care of yourself here, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But because you have the chaos and conflict, I feel like that is something you are dropping, because you're carrying those heavy burdens here. It's card 33 and 10. Some of you may be born on the 10th. Let's take a look, because Unfinished Symphony came out first. Some of you, 10 is significant. There could have been a lot of changes around, again, eclipse season, which we mentioned, or the month of October. Now, this is about unfinished business, maybe even a lack of closure, incomplete lessons it can represent, as well as a need to make amends. And when it does come to your career, Cancer, this is about making sure you start to complete projects, because if there are projects that are, left undone, incomplete, you're going to feel chaos and conflict. That's why you have this card kind of showing up a little bit behind it. So the message here is complete projects before starting new ones. Perhaps you've created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but more clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety, knowing that you are on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. Yeah, you want to feel fresh and excited, especially going into a new year, because when unfinished business casts a shadow over our lives, it's a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage, which is the Eight of Swords in the recent past. So if it's not your best, it's not in your best interest to stall, because then we trip up, we get in our own way, we can self-sabotage. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. And remember the scenario about, the middle of the night. Even if you're stumbling through things, put up your hands. You're going to be divinely guided. You have the support within yourself. Your body is going to help you. You're going to take one foot and put it in front of the other here. It says, don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line, because Spirit wants you to win. And that is part of the Three of Wands. And look at that. It actually looks like she's, heading towards the finish line there. So even though there may be a little bit of a setback here for you, you're closer than you think. Your ships are coming in here. And I don't feel like we necessarily need to read the chaos and conflict, because your main card was the unfinished symphony. There's your message there. Because this is kind of what happens if we stay lingering in that, self-sabotaging behavior. It can feel a little bit chaotic, a little bit conflicted here. We have card 1, which is about new beginnings, and 33 is 6. 6 is the card of Gemini. It's the card of lovers, making choices regarding balance, right? Making balanced decisions and choices, connecting with partnerships that feel more balanced, soul contracts that feel more in alignment with your heart and your soul, and being able to trust your path moving forward. Trust is a big thing here for you. And 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like that Wheel of Fortune is right here within your energy field, but just because you can't quite see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. But for a lot of you, it's already here, but it's like your back may be turned. In that Three of Wands, typically there is someone looking out into the ocean and they see the ships coming in, but for some of you, your back is turned. But if you were to turn in that direction, you'll see that the ship is right there. That's part of that hope. That's part of that star energy. You must trust that things are working out here in your highest good. All right, let's get a final message from your animal guides. Now at this time, Cancer, I just ask, if you can, please take a nice deep breath in from the solar plexus chakra, the belly area. Nice big breath in. Hold it as long as you can. And release through the mouth. And I want you to close your eyes and tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. Perhaps it's an animal that swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. Perhaps your animal has crossed over the rainbow bridge, visited through your dreams, or maybe you've spotted in the great outdoors. There is no right or wrong answer. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals in the comment section below the video, and I personally will enter you into that free reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the first of each month and post right back here on the channel. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. All right, I'm loving your messages here. It coincides with everything we've been talking about. Some of you may be 40 years old, 62, 49, or 51. You have mouse spirit, tend to the small things. That's what December is all about, right? Tying up loose ends, like it says, paying the bills, turning in the documents, whether it's a deadline, whether there's something that needs to be completed before you enter the new year. Mouse spirit says tend to the small things, because that's going to help you feel more on track. It's going to help you feel more accomplished, and it'll help you get out of this self-sabotaging at times behavior. You have the turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, like I said, you don't want to jump out of bed in the middle of the night and rush towards the restroom in a place that you've never, that you're unfamiliar with. So as you navigate through uncharted territory, take your time. Ask for help and guidance. Use the tools that you have, just like with the cutlery here. And the tools in that instance would be, putting your hands up, using your hands. So for some of you, it's whatever business tools that you have or whatever skills and talents you are being guided. You have what it takes here. Slow and steady wins the race. You have rabbit. Rabbit, it says now is a lucky time. And we talked about that fertility with the Empress. We talked about the star. This is a really beautiful month for you because the stars are aligning. You do have the feather. There is abundance here. There's divine intervention. There's easy money coming in. I am getting, again, some sort of back pay or allotment or big bonus raise, something of that nature that's going to help you out. So remember that lucky rabbit's foot. You have what it takes here to bring in abundance. Now, lastly, you have the sandpiper spirit, which is about playfulness. Have fun this month. Card 51, 5 and 1 equals that 6 that we see here with the chaos and conflict. So even though things may be feeling a little bit disheveled, there may be a lot going on for you in the month of December, be sure to have fun, because look at that. He also is standing on one foot there. So you can balance. Make sure you're balancing out your work life and your play life. Let your hair down, have fun, celebrate, get together with the people that you love, do things that bring you joy, because I feel like it's been a long time for you, Cancer. Get together with supportive, like-minded people, and yeah, just go and move into that energy of happiness. Let things kind of evolve for you. Tie up those loose ends and don't worry about anything extreme, right? Don't worry about what's going to happen 10 years down the road or what's going to happen, to this big thing that you have no control over. Just try to take it day by day, step by step, and bring a little bit of humor and fun into the mix. That is what I have for you, Cancer. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. I would love to see your power animals in the comment section below. And if you're vibing with the energy of the channel and you haven't already hit that subscribe and bell button, please do so. Thank you so much, Cancer, for your love, your support, your time and energy here with me today. Till next time.